Hello everyone, patching into today's second video, doing the GWV June 2020 forecast for today's second video. So we're going to have a look at CFSB2, CAN6 and the Beijing Climate Centre to see what these three models are forecasting for June 2020. We'll give you the GWV's forecast then. We're going to review very quickly the May forecast, and the video have a sneak peek for July. So I'm going to review very shortly. Just to say that the first video released today is having a look at Tropical Storm Cristobal. That's going to be heading northwards onto the Gulf Coast of the United States over the weekend and could give some high impact weather there. Also, coming up later on, we have a regular week 10-day update, including all of the usual features. Quite late with the videos today, so that's going to be a little bit later than normal. And then late tonight, after 11 o'clock UK time, earlier in the evening US time, we'll have a weekend forecast for the United States too. Right, so let's go on with the June forecast. We're going to quickly review the May forecast from GWV and see what happened during May 2020. So our forecast went for slightly above average temperatures and near normal rainfall. Let's see how we got on. So this is how the temperature anomaly looks from the UK Met Office for May 2020, set against the 81-2010 average. It was a slightly warmer than average month across most parts of the country, with temperature anomalies around half degree to 1 degree above average. So yes, it was a rather mild than average month, rather warm than average month. Some eastern parts of England actually went up to like 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees above average, so very warm in some limited eastern areas. But overall, it's just a standard sort of warmer than average month. Much more dramatic was precipitation. So for the far north of Scotland, it's actually a slightly wetter than average month. Interestingly, the extreme north to northwest Scotland, a little bit wetter than average. But everywhere else, coming out with a drier than average month. Northern Ireland drier than average, Northern England, much of east and south east Scotland drier than average. But particularly dry across England and Wales, where it really was an exceptionally dry May. In fact, it was the driest May on record, with many areas having under 20% of their average rainfall. Some places recording no measurable rain throughout the entire month. So obviously the GWV's May forecast wasn't great, because we went for average rainfall with warmer and dry, with wetter and dry spells offsetting one another. What we actually came away with was just an exceptionally dry month. So I think we have to say that for the May forecast, it didn't go to plan. It wasn't correct. I should have stuck with the spring forecast, really, which did really indicate quite a warm, dry May as a possibility. So I should have stuck with that. But I thought when we got to the beginning of May, we'd probably have a more unsettled month than we did. And so, yes, we can say that quite definitively the May forecast hasn't gone to plan. But we shall move on and see what June could have in store. So this is the 700 millibar height anomaly from CFSB2 for June 2020. Excuse me. And we find that we have a trough of below average height sitting to our south. And we have a ridge of above average heights out to our north and northwest. Quite a northern blocking signal. That's going up towards Greenland and Iceland. It's pulling in the winds from a northeasterly direction. And with trough of low pressure, of course, to our south, that's providing spells of rain for more southern parts of the country and down into France, Spain and Portugal. But further northwest, we're close to that ridge, so it is drier there. The temperature anomaly for June 2020 looks like that. It's a warmer than average month being predicted across northern Europe, so many parts of Scandinavia coming out warmer than average. At the same time, though, we've got large portions of southern Europe, including much of the Mediterranean, rather cooler than average, particularly so for Spain and Portugal, where a very cool month is looking possible. Will still be quite hot because it's going into summer, but certainly the temperature looks like it's going to be cooler than average. For Ireland for the UK, our temperature anomaly is actually coming out very, very close to average. That could be that we are going to have average temperatures during June. It could be that the model doesn't really have all that much of a signal, to be honest. And the precipitation anomaly looks like that. So yes, it is going for a drier than average month to our north and northwest, a wetter than average month for many parts of France, Spain, Portugal. Again, quite significantly wetter than average through there. England and Wales sort of in a no man's land, where it's neither particularly dry or particularly wet. Now, CANSIPS is looking like this. It's mean cell pressure anomaly for June 2020 from CANSIPS, and it's going for quite a lot of northern blocking, actually, even higher pressure within the northern latitudes, and deeper, lower pressure over the UK and also over much of northern Europe as well. So that does look like quite a cool and unsettled signal for June with CANSIPS. It's from tropicaltidbits.com, of course. The temperature anomaly is slightly below average for June, and over here, across many parts of Europe, actually, quite a cooler than average month being forecast, and down to Spain and Portugal as well. So, yeah, CANSIPS go rather cooler, I think, compared to CFSV2. And a north-south split with precipitation, so drier than average away to our northwest, and of course where the high pressure is sitting, and lower pressure to our south brings wetter weather for southern areas. So the UK itself is kind of a bit wet for the south and a bit drier for the north. And then finally, we've got Beijing Climate Centre. It's 500 millibar high anomaly from the Beijing Climate Centre, taking us from the 6th of June to the 5th of July. And with this one, we've got high pressure around Iceland, but also reaching down into the UK. Quite a bit of high pressure over Scandinavia as well. So a fair amount of high pressure actually being signalled by the Beijing Climate Centre for June. More so than the other two models, I think, and less in the way of low pressure to our southeast also. And this one is going for a warmer than average month. So we've got real problems here, haven't we? Because we've got CFS going for average temperatures. We've got CANSIPS going for cold average temperature. We've got Beijing Climate Centre going warmer than average. Quite a significant warmer than average anomaly as well, like a couple of degrees above average. And much of Northern Europe also looking warmer than average with Beijing Climate Centre. And rather dry than average too. That's because there is quite an anticyclonic signal going on. So rather dry than average month is being forecast there as well. We've got real problems with this June forecast. There is no agreement at all within the three models for the overall pattern. I think they are sort of all playing around with variations of higher pressure to the north. So variations of a little bit of northern blocking. But that's as far as it goes. Other than that, they are in disarray, really. So they're not much help in providing guidance for this June. I think we have got a very uncertain month ahead of us. Nevertheless, I'm going to give you a forecast because I've got to do that. So the Gauss weather's June 2020 forecast is going to go for average temperatures, average precipitation. And I think with that we say that we are definitely like to have a more unsettled month this month compared to May and to April. I know we said that in May and didn't come up, but I'm pretty sure, given the patterns that we've got right now, going on right now, I'm pretty sure we're going to have some rainfall going on through this early part of June anyway. What I suspect is likely to happen is that have rather cool, unsettled conditions quite early on in the month, maybe going to the middle of the month, and the second half of the month could transition something warmer and drier. And so I would anticipate that as the month goes along, the Azores high probably starts to get more into the ascendancy. So when we come to the final week of the month, we have, I would have thought it's the last week of the month that probably has the best chance of delivering something genuinely hot and something like maybe even a heat wave. Not a guarantee of a heat wave in the final week of the month, of course, but I would think the further on into the month we go, the greater the chance that the Azores high gets back into the ascendancy. Early on, though, I think we do have quite a cool and unsettled spell of weather to come. And that could go on, it may be relatively short-lived, so we could even be seeing signs of higher pressure back in business by the second week of the month. But I would anticipate it probably goes on up to the middle of the month, maybe even a little bit beyond that. But eventually, I think we do get ourselves back to the Azores high. So yes, I think we've got a complicated pattern here, and I think we sort of offset warmer and cooler spells, and we offset drier and wetter spells, and as the month transitions though, it should get drier and warmer as it goes along. So average temperatures, average precipitation, average rainfall, but that masking the idea that the further on we're going, or the earlier on we are in the month, the more unsettled and cool it's going to be, and the further on we go, the better the chance that it turns drier and warmer. But it is a very low confidence forecast, really. This is no more than a guess, no really than like my best guess of how I think this month is likely to progress. There's no particular evidence to support this at all, as these models are in such disarray. So, as ever, we should just see how it goes, and we'll evaluate forecasts at the beginning of July. Talking of July, quick sneak peek for that. So, this is the CFSV2 700 millibar high doubly for July 2020. And we're looking at Scandinavian high here, actually. High pressure over Scandinavia, which is probably going to deliver quite warm easterly winds. So, I would have thought a warm month is quite likely. The danger with that is that we can get low pressure rolling in underneath the ridge. And so we go into quite an unsettled pattern, despite the fact we've got a Scandinavian high sitting to our northeast. There's no particular evidence that that's happening, but it's always something we have to be alert about in the summer when we have any sort of higher pressure, sort of Scandinavia, Iceland, Greenland, those sort of areas, always with high pressure in those areas in the summer. Have to watch out for a trough of low pressure setting up underneath it. But I do think a relatively warm month will be likely there. We've got a high pressure over Scandinavia, should be bringing pretty warm air from the east. But we'll worry about July when we get to it. I think June is enough to be going on, because as I've already said, it is quite a complicated and low confidence forecast that was just delivered for June 2020. But in the final analysis, we're going for average temperatures, average precipitation, a cool and unsettled and rather wet start for some. And then as the month goes on, gradually it transitions something drier and warmer. Best chance of really hooking up the Azores high, I think, and delivering a spell of genuine hot weather. Probably comes in the final week to 10 days. Okay, we'll see how it goes. And as ever, we'll evaluate when we get through to the beginning of next month. Don't forget to check out that forecast that we've issued, latest update on Tropical Storm Cristobal. And then coming up later on, we're going to have the regular week 10-day update rule of usual features. And then tonight, after 11 o'clock UK time, we shall have a weekend forecast for America. That's the schedule for today. But for this June forecast, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.